Welcome to the Manager's Tea Break. I'm Nikki. Thanks for spending your break with me. Today's episode is called Giving Performance Reviews Doesn't Have to Be Stressful. Here's how. Being anxious as a new manager is completely normal. If you're slightly anxious about giving performance reviews as a new manager, the first thing to know is that it's completely normal. Evaluating team members, delivering constructive feedback, and addressing areas for improvement can be daunting. The potential impact of your feedback can further elevate the pressure you put on yourself. All of these questions and more have gone through everyone's minds the first few times. How will my team members react to my feedback? How can I handle it if they become defensive or upset? Am I qualified to assess their performance? What if I mess up? What if I don't have the full story? How can I ensure my feedback is fair and unbiased? How can I give critical feedback but not let it overshadow the positive achievements from this year? How can I ensure my feedback is motivating and supportive? How can I give critical feedback without coming across as too authoritative, but without being too casual about it either so that it's acted upon? Acknowledging the concerns you have and thinking through how you could address them can alleviate a lot of the stress associated with this process. Setting up the basics. For me, giving feedback is a year-round initiative. This both enables me to give actionable feedback in a timely manner to my reports, but also alleviates a lot of the pressure on me as all the feedback does not build to 1 or 2 moments of the year. Regular goal check-ins. My organization has official reviews 2 times per year, but I schedule regular goal check-ins with my direct reports every 2 months. I just note in our shared one-to-one OneNote the comments from the check-in meeting so we have a written record we can fall back on. I find this cadence is enough because it ensures I won't fall into the trap of the recency bias, because every 2 months there's a review and examples from that period are noted. But it's not too frequent, so there's enough chance for progress in between. I really enjoy the goals check-ins as they are a lot less pressure for my reports, as the onus is on me to prepare, so I have some written comments to share. Nevertheless, it's helpful for me because when I do the company's official reviews, I already have 2/3 of the work done and I just have to look back on the last 2 months. It helps me keep my team members accountable and focused on the most important priorities, so they see me as a partner helping them to get to their goals. This means it's not just critical feedback during the check-ins, but we are actively working on solutions together to ensure they can get there. And of course, another benefit is it further ensures there are no surprises when the official review season kicks off, because they know where I stand. Noting and sharing feedback. This is obviously key to ensure you're noting feedback and playing that directly to your reports in a timely manner. I have a private notebook specifically for this, so anytime I notice a particularly good example of something, whether good or bad work, I note the example there. I make sure to play this feedback either directly in the moment or in the next one-to-one, but having a particular folder for feedback ensures I know the examples I can call back on if needed. Again, this is just facilitating the work I need to do ahead of my goal check-ins, because I'm collecting examples as I go, and I don't need to have an excellent memory for the period. I can rely on my notes and use just the examples which are relevant when goal season comes around. How to prepare for review season. Ensuring a smooth setup. First, the practical elements. I know when review season is coming, and I get it on everyone's calendars early. I block myself the 30 minutes before the meeting for a last refresh of my notes. Mainly, this is to guarantee I'm not going to be late to someone's review by coming from another meeting, and that I'm in the right headspace for the review. No bad energy from one meeting bleeding into this one. Thank you very much. Preparing the right verbiage. Performance reviews can be stressful for the employees, so I try to be more careful than usual with my language. We want our feedback to be clear and to be properly understood, so the words we use matter. A great book to look to as a resource is Perfect Phrases for Performance Reviews by Douglas Max and Robert Bacall. I find myself going to it every review season as it had questions by competency and also helps with coaching questions to help the employee reflect and also look forward. I think asking open-ended questions during a review is really important, as we're not just there to judge, but to help the employee reflect on their own progress and behavior and think about how they can further improve. If you think about it like this, it further alleviates a bit the pressure on you. Plan to make them reflect, and you don't have to be the one with all the answers. Ask for additional feedback. Close to review season, start to actively collect additional feedback from stakeholders who work with your reports. Gather more examples to bring a wider variety of inputs to the conversation. Ask for help from your manager. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already trying to research on the topic and prepare yourself for review season. But ask your manager for help if you're still nervous or if you want to practice, like run a role play. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable in the workplace. Your manager will likely be impressed by your desire to improve your skills and become a better manager. After review season. First off, take a moment to reflect. Think about what worked for you and what didn't, and commit to specific changes you will make as a result. Remember, review season is never really over. If you're doing it properly, it's a continuous cycle. So don't relax too much in the months after a review, or you'll find yourself in a difficult situation. Thanks for listening. See you in next month's episode. And remember, for extra content, check out my blog.